Welcome to this week's Cooking with Bobby. Today my special guest star is Adam Spindler, and what are we going to be cooking?
Well, we're going to be cooking a Hasselback potato.
What is a Hasselback potato?
Well, it is a Swedish recipe for a baked potato. It involves slicing the potato up in a very unique fashion and interlacing with cheese and butter to really get the oils and the fats and everything mixed in with the potato and makes it very, very tasty.
Okay, well you've mentioned cheese, butter and potato. What else are we going to need?
Well, that's pretty much it. I mean, you've got your choice of seasonings. You can use salt, pepper. I tend to stick with that. If you like, you can mix in some herbs. People like chives on their potatoes sometimes. And you need a little bit of oil just to make sure it all sticks in place.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so we're going to need to cut this potato.
The important thing to remember is your knife needs to be very sharp, generally, just all the time.
Yeah, okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take the knife and slice very close to the bottom of the potato, but not actually slice off. So you're going to leave like a little flap.
So you don't want to slice all the way through, you just want to leave, okay.
So I'm going to... And then you have a little flap left.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to do that all the way along the potato. Try and get close to the bottom, but don't cut all the way through. Keep your slices parallel, that's important.
Do they all sort of need to be evenly sliced as well?
So make sure they're the same width, because otherwise they don't all cook at the same speed. Otherwise you get some slices that'll burn, some that'll cook properly.
Alright, well, I'll give this a quick go then as well, shall I? Is it a complete disaster if I don't cut the slice entirely parallel?
No, not a disaster.
Not a disaster.
You might have to take a slice out here and there, and that can just be thrown away because it's basically useless.
Oh, okay. So how many of these do you normally cook for? How many people would you have eating?
It's basically one potato per person, like you would with sort of standard Jap potatoes.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a really nice alternative to doing your normal baking potato.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Another option is to do the same thing with sort of new potatoes, and that sort of gives you an alternative to chips or potato wedges or something like that.
Is there a particular way I'm supposed to be cutting as well?
Generally, just be safe with the knife. Try and keep your knuckles guiding the knife, so you want not your fingertips, because that's dangerous. Keep your knuckles on the knife so you don't chop your fingers off.
Okay, so I've got my sliced potato.
Yep.
What are we now going to do with this to turn it into a Hasselback?
Okay, so what we're going to need is some butter. So the butter needs to be hard so you can slice it properly. Otherwise, if it's too soft, it's just not usable. Opposite to how most recipes want you to use softened butter. So I'm going to slice off that and then chop it up so you've got like a little cube of slice of butter.
Oh, and you want to put that inside the slices?
Yeah, so that's going to go inside there, and that's going to melt down nicely as the potato cooks and sort of absorb into the potato's flesh. And I'm going to do that with every other slice on the potato.
Okay, so you're going to alternate layers as well through?
Yeah, yeah.
All right then, I'm going to cut some butter off. So what are we going to put in the other alternating slices?
So the other side we're going to use Parmesan cheese, mainly because it cooks quite well, because it's a hard cheese. It doesn't burn when you leave it in the oven for a long time.
Okay.
So if you're going to be alternating slices, use something like this. Don't use cheddar, because if you leave cheddar in the oven for an hour, it will burn and catch fire, whereas Parmesan doesn't. So we want very thin slices of this because it's very strong.
Very strong, okay.
And these are going to go in the slices of the potato that you didn't put butter in.
Okay, so alternating slices.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the finished product. I'm going to bring our baking tray in, which already has a finished.
Here's one we made earlier.
Indeed. So you basically just want to bung this on a baking tray, drizzle a little bit of oil over it. We're using vegetable oil, but you can also use olive oil, virgin olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, oil with a questionable past. So you just want to drizzle that over the potato.
That's quite a large drizzle. Oh, yeah.
And then we're just using salt and pepper to season them. But you can also chuck on all sorts of stuff. You could make it spicy and throw on some cumin and some paprika, or herby, throw on some chives or some oregano or something.
Make your Hasselback from all around the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I see.
So this wants to go in the oven for about an hour, and then we're gonna take it out, we're gonna cover it in cheese, and then cook it for about another 10 minutes. And then they're ready to do. You can serve it alongside sort of baked beans or whatever your favourite thing to put with jack potatoes.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so we're going to chuck it in the oven?
Yep.
What temperature do you need to do the oven at?
The oven is set at about 170 degrees. Potatoes will cook at pretty much anything, but sort of between 150 and 200 is sort of the ideal range.
Okay. Oh, they look absolutely fantastic.
They do look quite good. So the way you want to check that these are pretty much done is to take a knife and just sort of poke in the middle and see if it's soft. So this one's sort of a little bit undercooked, but that'll cook in the oven when we put it back in. This one's perfect. This one's quite soft as well. So that's how you want to check that it's done.
Okay, so why have we taken them out early?
So we're going to cover them in cheese.
Absolutely cover them, okay.
Absolutely cover them in cheese. I bought some very fancy vintage Cathedral City because I love mature cheddar. So this is great tasting cheese. We're just going to have like a block of this off of here and grate it up. So that's a lot of cheese.
Okay.
Anyway, you just want to sort of put it on top.
Put it on top, so don't worry about getting it in between.
Don't worry about getting it in between at all. Just cover it in cheese. So this cheese is all going to melt down. We're going to put it back in the oven for 5-10 minutes just to...
Is it just basically to melt the cheese on top,
yeah,
isn't it? Okay. So, it's been a full hour, we're ready to take out the oven?
Yeah, absolutely. That looks absolutely delicious.
Oh, I can't wait to tuck in. Okay, well...
That's our finished product. 3 Hasselback potatoes with cheese, butter, parmesan and various seasonings.
So, shall we take a look, tuck in?
Yeah, we should.
Let me try that slice. That's really good. So, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you want to know more about the recipe, it can be found on our website. I've been Bobby, and this is Adam, and you've been watching StagTV.